Welcome to Knit and Crochet with the Gilmore Girl. My name is Cheryl, and if you're a new viewer, thank you very much for joining me and welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So this is a Knitting and Crocheting with the Biddaloo Knitting podcast, and I haven't done a podcast. This is like episode 30, 34, 35, I think. So I've been doing it for a year now. I don't know exactly when my podiversary is. I'll have to check that out, but I think it's this month, so woohoo! And, anyways, I'm kind of out of practice. I haven't done a podcast for over a month. I apologize for that. I'll let you know what's been going on in my life, a little bit later in the podcast. And, I can explain a bit. Nothing bad, don't worry, I'm fine, but just a little bit of stuff going on. But, I forget what I was going to say. Let's just start with the knitting, okay? Why not? So, I haven't done a lot since the last podcast. I'll explain, but I have been basically making dishcloths. So, I sold a bunch, so I made some different patterns. If you go onto Ravelry, onto the designers, you will find my name, Cheryl-Lynette Gilmore Designs. You will find some, I think 4 or 5 free downloads for some dishcloths, crochet dishcloths, that you can check out and download. And I've been doing some of those, and I've been doing some other people's dishcloths. So I've been having fun, and I've been selling them, so that's really cool. I've got a lady who's going to be ordering a bunch for Christmas, so I'm looking forward to that. In the meanwhile, I got this. So I have been loom knitting. Now, I have started this blanket, I swear 20 million times, but it's probably only been like 5. But it feels like 20 million, you know? It feels like 20 million. It is the 10-stitch blanket, and if you look at the regular knitting needles in Ravelry, what am I trying to say? In regular knitting, they have the 10-stitch blanket as well, which I also want to do, but this is with the loom, and I found this with Good Knit Kisses on YouTube, this pattern. Her name is, I memorized her name, and I forget it now. I'm terrible at names. I'm so terrible at names. But anyways, Good Knit Kisses on YouTube taught me how to do this. And you can make a square blanket or you can make a rectangle blanket. I started with the rectangle and I kept messing up, so I went to the square. So this is it so far. So it looks like that. Now, what my problem is, let's try and figure this out, is this part right here. It like comes out. I mean, it's not a big problem, but I want it to be flat. So I don't know what I did, but when I was doing it, I had to restart it a few times because I kept forgetting corners. So it didn't look like a square, but yeah. And this yarn, I forget what yarn this is. I'm sorry, but it's beautiful. It's black with some sparkles in it. Originally, I was going to do, oh, my eye's itchy. I was going to do a, if you watch my videos, you know that I was going to do a cardigan with this yarn. I decided to do blanket instead. So, yeah, so it just comes, it starts in the middle, and it just makes a square. And then you just continue in the square. It's only 10 stitches right across here. And then you add on, like you take your yarn, your project. Let's see if I can show you. So, let me see if I can do this. So you do this, and then you, where am I? You add on stitches. So you take the corner and you put it here, and then you do, anyways, it's confusing, but it's really easy to memorize. It's just hard to explain. So anyways, the 10-stitch blanket with loom knitting, And if this works out okay, I want to, and hey, this requires a long explanation. If you watch my videos, you know that Ryan, my friend Ryan, is getting married to me, and I want to make him a blanket. And he has picked the yarn out, and I have started making it numerous times. And if you watch my videos, you've seen me try to start it in knitting and loom knitting and crocheting. I just have not found the right pattern. I want it to be perfect. So I'm thinking this pattern, I enjoy doing it. I might do the rectangle blanket if I could figure it out. And that would be the blanket for him, but not starting that till probably January. So, yeah. And, I'll explain that later. I was going to tell you about Ryan's vacation, but I'll explain that later. Another thing I casted on, just going to put this over, oops, it's stuck, over here, like that. I casted on a cowl yesterday, and I knit 10 rows, and then I realized it was twisted. I worked so hard on those 10 rows. I'm such a slow knitter, and I worked hard. I worked hard and long on those 10 rows, or rounds, actually. And, yeah, I was mad. It was all twisted right from the beginning, so I had to rip it out. But I've done this. I'm on the 7th row now. So this is really pretty. Again, I don't know what yarn this is. If you probably know that I'm terrible at remembering yarn names, colorways, but it's just from Walmart. Just yarn from Walmart. So, it's a pretty cowl. It's got some lace work. I'm working on the lace section now, so this part right here is the lace, starting the lace. It's a 4-round repeat for the lace. So you start off, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Let me look and see. Sorry about the sound. Oh, shush. Let me find the pattern. Oh, no, we'll just do it that way. Then I'll stop making that noise. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's really annoying. I had my phone hooked up to my computer to charge, so that's fine. Okay, so if you go to Ravelry, and it is in my library, recently added, it is called A Cowl for Every Season. So, let's show you this pattern. So, this is the pattern. It's got lace work, right? You can do as many repeats as you want as a lace work. I believe the pattern gives a suggested amount, but you can do less or more than that. So that's a cowl for every season. The designer is, let me see who the designer is. Oh, come on. I don't know who the designer is. Oh, it's by Manel, M-A-A-N-E-L, and it was put on here September 2014, so it's an old one. And it's a cowl for every season. Here's some more pictures. It's a free download. There's a pink one. Let me see if I can show that better. Trying. It's glaring. Anyways, can't show that very well, but no, can't show that very well, but maybe if I make it bigger, it'll show better. There, that shows a bit. Oh, now I got the glare from the light. Sorry, I'm trying. There we go. There we go. Did I make you seasick? So yeah, it's a beautiful cowl. So again, that's a cowl for every season by Manel, M-A-A-N-E-L, on Ravelry, and I'm doing it in a deep green. Don't know what the colorway is, but it's pretty. So I just restarted it today. So, yeah, that is all the knitting and crocheting I've done in the last month. Well, no, I started work on a sock, but I don't even know where it is. So, oops. So, yeah, that's all I've done. So, that is it for knitting and crocheting news and loom knitting. I'm going to move the camera again. My apologies. And I am just going to knit some, I was going to say knit and crochet because I'm so used to saying that. But I'm just going to knit while I talk to you a bit. So that's all for the knitting and crochet news. If that's all you came for, I apologize. That's all I've got. So now is a bit of chit chat and some reading that I've been doing. So the last month or so, I have been taking time out for myself. I have been I'm a Christian, as most of you know, and I've decided to give my worries and my life to God. And I realized I spent a lot of my time worrying about things, about the future, about what's going on in my life. And I just decided just to give it all to God, just give it all to Him and just not worry. Do my best and let God do the rest is my favorite saying. So, that's what I decided to do. So I had a long talk with God, and I gave Him all my worries, and He totally gave me peace. And for the last month, I have been really, really happy. I've been enjoying my days and my nights, and I have been sleeping better, and I've just been looking forward to my days, which I never used to do. So, that's been great. So I didn't do a podcast just because I didn't do a lot of knitting and crocheting, but also just because I was taking time out for myself and doing things that I enjoyed. And not that I don't enjoy doing the podcast, but I just wanted to focus on myself for a while. And if you have mental disorders, you know that that is important. It's important for anybody, but especially if you suffer from depression and things, it's important to take time out for yourself and do things that make you happy. So, that's what I've been doing. And I know that I'll still get depressed, and I'll still have anxiety, and I'll still worry, but, the weeks that I've had makes it bearable, and it makes me know that I'm going to get through it again, and things are going to be okay. So some things have happened that have made me happy, apart from not worrying and stressing out about things. I've been reading a lot. Oh my gosh, I've been reading so much and listening to audiobooks and reading physical books, and I've really enjoyed that. I've been writing, and I'm writing a new book that I just started outlining, so I'm excited about that. I've started so many books, writing books that I haven't finished, and one person told me once that it doesn't matter how many books you start and not finish, it just means that that book wasn't meant to be written by you. And I totally agree. I think that's wonderful. That's a great way to say it. And someday I will find the book that it was meant to be written by me and hopefully get it published. So I'm excited. I'm working on a novel right now, just outlining it. And yeah, I also got some babysitting jobs. So if you watch my videos, you know that sorry, you know that I babysat full-time and part-time for a little girl named Kendra. Last year, full-time during the summer and part-time after for about a year. her family moved away. I still keep in contact with her. I'm going to call her tonight, actually, because today is Tuesday, and it's the first day of school for BC. So, she'll be in grade 1, so I want to call her and see how her day went. But, since then, I haven't really babysat much, and I've been desperately wanting a job with kids to babysit again. I love babysitting. I'm 40 years old, but I love babysitting. So if I can't have kids of my own, I want to look after someone else's kids. So I prayed about it, and I just waited, and I put an ad up in the Merit Babysitters, which is a Facebook page. And I put that ad up about 3 months ago, and this lady calls me one day and says, "Hey, I was wondering if you can come for an interview." So I went over to her house. She lives close by to me, and met her little girl, Scarlett. And I tell you, her mom and I just got along like that. I mean, we talked for 2.5 hours about nothing to do with the job, just talking. And then I'm like, after 2.5 hours, I'm like, "So what's this job entail?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot," you know. So it's back then it was 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. And she needed a babysitter for Tuesday and Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight. And she said she has a roommate that babysits quite often, but she may need me if he goes back to work. And it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to midnight. So I met the little girl, and she's 7 years old, and her and her mom gave me a big hug when I left, and I felt really comfortable with them, and I had fun with her those 2 nights. And since then, I will be babysitting for her next week and the week after. Not this week, but next week and the week after. So that's great. And then I also got a babysitting job. I answered an ad on the Merit Babysitters for another job, and it's before and after school care. So before school care is only, well, the schedule changes, so it could be as little as 10 minutes before school, before they go to the bus, which stops right down by my house, so I can walk them to the bus. Or it could be an hour before the bus. It depends what her schedule is, her work schedule. And then I look after them after school, pick them up from the bus, and look after them after school. It's a 8 and 9-year-old boy and girl. And I'm looking forward to that. I start tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. I met them, and they're wonderful kids. So that's 4 days a week. So I'm going to be busy. So I could look after them only an hour or half an hour after school, or it could be as much as 4 hours after school. It depends on her and her boyfriend's schedule, work schedules, and then I babysit at night for the other girls. So, yeah, I'm going to be busy. So I've been doing that. I start with the after school tomorrow. I actually do before school and after school tomorrow. And then I babysit on Thursday and Friday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm going to be busy. So, and the kids that come after school actually come to my place. So that's wonderful, except now I have to keep my house clean. But, yeah. So I'm excited. I love having kids around. It makes me happy, and I enjoy it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, as I said, I've been reading a lot, and I got some books from the library. So, I want to show you some of the books I've been reading. I got a whole bunch of books from the library, and I just started reading like 5 of them or something. So, it's like I'm in the middle of a bunch of books, but most of them are young adults that I found on BookTube. A lot of people recommended these books. So I got Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. That is a book, a young adult fantasy book. Enjoying that. This one I just started. It's Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Another fantasy, it's a fairy tale retelling. Rumpelstiltskin retelling. So that, I read the first, from the library, but I sent it back, the first, what's it called? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by, Ransom Riggs. This is the second book, Hollow City. I've been reading that. I also got the third book, and the fourth book is coming out, and I've ordered all 4 books to to buy, because I enjoy them so much. I've also been reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book I'm enjoying, but I'm not particularly fond of. It's got some girl-on-girl action in this, so not that I have anything against lesbians or gay people, I just don't really agree with their lifestyle. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, love and support them and everything. It's just, it's not something I want to read about, just personal preference. So, but it's an okay book. It's pretty good. So, yeah. I'm also reading another book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, One True Loves. So this book is really good. It's about a lady who falls in love with a guy when she's a teenager. They get married young in their 20s, and then he gets in a helicopter accident and lost overseas or something, and she kind of assumes he's dead, and 10 years later she falls in love again with another man, gets engaged, and then she receives a phone call, and it's her husband. He's alive, so what do you do, kind of thing. So she's in love with 2 guys. So, what do you do in that kind of situation, right? That kind of thing must happen. Like, you assume they're dead and you declare them dead or whatever, and then they turn up. It's like, what do you do? So I'm enjoying that book. And that's all the books I'm reading right now. So that's 4 books. Whoops, I dumped them all over. So yeah, I got some books from Book Outlet recently, but they're in a box over there, so I'm not going to get them because I'm, sitting down. I don't feel like getting up. Sorry. But anyways, I've been listening to some audiobooks as well. So I'm let me see where I'm at. That's a pearl. Okay. So I've been listening to I listened to I'm losing my words here. Karen Kingsbury's In This Moment. I listened to that audiobook. If you don't know who Karen Kingsbury is, she's quite a popular contemporary Christian novelist, author, and she writes beautiful stories. So In This Moment was a beautiful and emotional story about Christian rights in schools, whether or not Christian Bible studies and things like that should be allowed in schools. It's a fiction book, but it reads very much like something that could really happen, since the rights of people came up and said they don't want God in schools, and it's a controversial book, but it's really good. Really enjoyed it. And another Christian book I've been listening to from Scribd. I go to Scribd, which is an audiobook app on the computer and on your phone. It's spelled SCRIBD, and it is an audiobook and ebook and sheet music, and what else do they give? Documents, things like that. And I think it's $8.99 in US per month, and you get unlimited audiobooks or ebooks or whatever, unlimited amount. It doesn't cost you extra to buy them. So I love that. It's like $12.99 or something like that in Canada. So I have been listening to a Frank Peretti book called This Present Darkness, which is, I believe, his first book, like 25 years ago or whatever. I have never been able to make it through a Frank Peretti book, apart from his kids' books. If you don't know who Frank Peretti is, he is a Christian author who writes about spiritual battles between demons and angels and how they affect humans and stuff. They're fiction. It's all fiction, but it is very real. Like, being a Christian, I know these things really do happen. So it makes it spooky, and it's like, I kind of consider him a Christian Stephen King. So his books are very spooky. God always wins in the end, but it's pretty spooky until you get there. So I'm listening to This Present Darkness, and then Piercing the Darkness is the sequel to that. He's also written House and Monster and The Oath. I remember reading The Oath, and it was so spooky I couldn't handle it. Then again, I was reading it at night, so that's not really that smart. But my mom used to love Frank Peretti. I read a lot of his Cooper Family Adventures when I was young, and they were pretty spooky for kids' books, and I couldn't handle the adult books. So I'm looking forward to listening to a few of those on Scribd. And then also on Scribd, they have a bunch of my favorite cozy mystery books coming out on September 28th. So I've got a bunch of them saved, and I'm going to listen my heart out to a bunch of books. My nose is really itchy. Gotta kiss a fool. So, yeah, I'm going to listen to a bunch of books when they come out. Agatha Christie books are coming out on audio there. Carolyn Hart's books are coming out. Jessica Fletcher, David Bain books, or Daniel Bain. Is it Daniel Bain? All I remember is Jessica Fletcher, but Murder, She Wrote books. And Joanne Fluke books are coming out. Not Joanne Fluke. I can't remember, but some other cozy mystery series are coming out on September 28th. So I'm looking forward to those. I'm going to be listening to a lot of them. I've got a lot more books that I got from the library. I got a total of 33 books coming in, so I have a lot of reading to do. But I kind of went through BookTube and listed all the books that I was interested in, and I just ordered them all online on my library, and they, like 20 of them came in the first day, so got a lot of them to read. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what's been going on. Don't really have anything else to talk about. So, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you in all you do. And have a great day. I'm going to upload this either tonight or tomorrow on Wednesday. So, thanks for joining me. Remember to hit like and subscribe. And, you can find me on Ravelry as Gilmore Girl 39. And we have a podcast group as well. There isn't anybody talking in it, but it's Gilmore Girls Podcast if you want to join. And that's it. I'm on Instagram as well. Gilmore Girl Knits is on Instagram. I'm not on there very often, but if you want to friend me on that too, that's wonderful. So, have a great day. Again, God bless you and all you do. Bye.